So, we said before, we put a bit of grease on the back of these from where they touch. Quite in on the brakes, so we'll try and mark them there. See where she was scratching. The grease, plenty of grease. That can stop. Most 35s and 135s and all them usually have noisy brakes, kind of squeaky brakes. Putting a bit of that on will get rid of that. So I'll get a rag. I don't want to touch the brake shoes with grease on my hands. So now we need to feed in our new pin from the back. So that's in. Okay. We put on a collet washer with a valve cup. We put on our spring and another collet. Okay. There is a tool for fitting these, I think. Find a slight grip of a vice grip does the job, I think, just as well. Okay. You see what way it's turned. It's kind of a T shape on the end. A little bit awkward, especially when your hands are greasy and the vice grips is greasy. Okay, I'll better grip it up with a rag. It can be hard to stop the pin itself turning, you see. Just your finger pressing on the back. Okay, so that's number one done. That's good. So that's on. Lovely. Number two, pin number two coming in. Okay, in she comes. Is this torch bright now or not? I'll get a different. The mirror torch is charging. Be a bit better there now. So that goes on there. Okay. Okay, that's looking good. And our brakes are quiet, that's what we want. Lovely. So that's the top done. So the bottom is next. A little bit awkward. I think I usually use a bungee for these to hold up the bottom. I'm going to try and see how we get on, unless I put in the spring. That's what I'll do. So I put the spring in, that'll hold that. These new springs now will be fairly strong, so might be a good bit of a pull to get them on. Be surprised if this. I'll move the camera out of the way in case I go flying. Okay. Right, that should help hold the bottom up. Maybe it might, maybe it won't. Probably not going to do a whole lot now, but regardless, we'll chance it. A little bit awkward, unless I go and put my adjuster. That's lovely and greased. And that's lovely and greased. So which way will this go? So I'll move the camera out of the way. Move myself out of the way of the camera, I should say. So we've an adjuster, there's our adjuster window there, so we can call it that. And it doesn't want it to go that way, I think. So if I put on the spring maybe, no, I won't be able to put the spring on until I get these in. That's okay. Learning as we're going here. I have to get a bungee, I will. Bungee cord. Yeah. So we might have brakes fairly shortly on both sides. Adjusting them up is a bit of an art in itself, but time and patience usually sorts that. Now, if I even get one of these on, we'll be out of the one. Come on, come through. Yeah. Okay. Just at the wrong angle here. The brake shoe fallen. I might have to get a bungee. Try it once more. Yeah. It's just hard. Yeah. Hard to stop that pin moving at the back. And it's not going through it straight. Yeah. Come on, you butt, yeah. No. I'll get a bungee and come back. Okay, so we'll take two here. I don't know if the camera pointing where it's meant to. So it's a little bit better lined up now. It's like the slot for the pin is a bit small. And when I'm turning the collet, get the T-piece to catch, it's turning the pin with it. If that makes sense. Of course it's hard to see what you're doing there. No, I'll have to get something to stop that turning, I think. I'll have to lift that a bit more as well. I think maybe that's better. I do think the Ferguson 20 had a better system than this. Just had kind of a bolt top and bottom. You couldn't go wrong. Now I think we're at the wrong angle. We're at the wrong angle for. I'll come back when I have that done rather than boring you. That's all I'm on. So I'm happy with that. Now we'll be able to go to the adjuster. Spring off again there so I can get the brake rod in. So I'm going to paint this when it's in. Then I find the last one I found what was happening was it was getting damage going in and out. So I have to get a spring for that and I have to get a washer. So here is the spring, here is the washer. So I put that in behind first, put our spring up on it. And then put on our fitting onto the end of that then. Wherever I put the bloody thing. There on the ground it is. There we go. This has to go on next. Shot blasted. cleaned out inside. And then I just go on a real quick, get the Woodruff key. So, the Woodruff key is fitted there. Okay. Get that to focus there now, yeah. So we have our Woodruff key in. All around there is nicely cleaned down. So we have our spring and our washer that can be pushed up at the end. So now I have to put this on that way there. And I think it's this part of the casting is fitting outwards. I'm just going to confirm that looking at the other side, but I'm fairly sure that is right. So I have a bit of an outer race bearing here. So I'm going to use that to tap it on, so that I'm not damaging anything. Okay, getting there. Nearly there. See how it lines up. Yeah. So we'll just go that last little bit now. Okay, how's that looking? That's it. Looking at the scene there. Yeah, that's really good. Just get the camera to focus a bit. Now, that looks to me like it's right where it needs to be. So, pull our spring up, sit it, put up our washer, pull the spring up, and then to get it, the last bit of the way, let's give it a little dunt. A hammer, since we don't have that painted here, we can let it right in. You don't have to be worried. That should keep things pushed into where they need to be. Lovely. Okay, so now I can put on my spring. So I'll move the camera around here again. I might have to get a new piece of twine. It's starting to get a bit tatted looking. A bit tatty looking. Now, so pull back on our spring. We just need this bracket on here. We'll strengthen these. These are fairly important, these springs now. The springs that are on it, I'll show you now. One of them is very weak. Where is it now? Right. So one of them was you can see it's fairly weak looking there, so important that they're pulling strong. Okay, and the other one pulls upwards. A lot better than messing around with screwdrivers. Okay, now let's pull the brake rod. Okay. Right, let's see what I have to do here now. Take that out again, because there's two possible places where the Woodruff key can go in, and this brake rod is too far back. So if I move it around to the other side, it'll be right. So I'll do that. It's no big deal. Off the springs, out with the brake rod again. That's looking a bit better. It's literally straight down there when you take up the slack. That's what I want. So live and learn. Okay. What did I forget to put on? And off with the springs again. What harm? We're winning. Every day is a school day. And our piece of bale twine has lasted. Now, so the next thing to do is to come over to the adjuster. I usually do these last. and get it on. So, right, that has to go down there, so we're right beside the little adjusting window. So what I'll do is, for reference as well, wind these out. We have to turn it this way. Okay. Take up the slack. Mind you, when I actually put on that spring, it'll pull that down, so you don't have to do it too much. I'll just do it enough just to hold it in place, that's all. There's another spring. Some people put them on in there, and when you're winding them you hear the clicks. I personally prefer to put them in this hole here. Now, that's lovely. So now I can open up that adjuster window in the back. Now, put down a rag across it there so I don't go scratching the nice paintwork. Tap it open. That's it there, so we have light there through there. And what we can do then is we can run our screwdriver in like so. We can bring it back so that we can fit the brake drum on, which is hard to believe. That's probably the next part to go on this now. So yeah, flying it. Little things are sharp enough, so we'll bring it right back down to the very end, for the simple reason being that I know then if it doesn't want to turn one way, that's fully closed. We'll say brake shoes right back inwards, so I'll know then to go the other way to adjust it out. So we'll start. That's all lovely and greased, I don't have to go on with that. Okay. Brake shoes are quiet, check them. It's looking good. So I'll give you one look, last look. Hopefully it's going to be a very long time before this sees the light of day again. Okay, so let's go and get the brake drum and see if it fits. I'm sure I will. Okay, brake drum time. Grub screw there, 12 and 6 o'clock. So we'll line that up. Fit. Ah, yes. There's every bit of weight in these ones now. It's the old ones I have to fit. So new brake drum. Best thing to fit. Fit new brakes. It's a new brake drum. Try for the grub screws. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so grub screw number 1 is going in. I'm going to try him in first, and then if it goes in, one of these threads can be rusty, I'll grease them. Yeah, this is a very good half shaft, this I have to say. Normally, even my own gold belly, these were missing for years, and even just the rust building up from them not being used stopped me from putting in new grub screws like. That lad's going a bit crooked there. So take a look and see what's going on there. Should get him in all the same. When you only get one in, it's okay. These are not important in the slightest, because the wheel bolted up against there is going to keep this pushed anyway. In fact, if these are very loose, they'll actually cause a lot more damage than good, because they'll be sitting proud, and your wheel then can start wobbling and put pressure on your bearing and everything. So I'll get it for that. We'll see, can we See, can we get him there? Don't want to go forcing it now. That's the last thing I want to do. Sometimes it just needs a bit of a help to get the treads cleaned up, and I don't have a tap for that. That's lovely. Take them back out and give them a dart of grease. Happy with that. Now this is a fully overhauled half shaft now. Bar the wheel bearing, everything else is overhauled. Wheel bearing is perfect on it. That's why we had to fit a good few shims. It's a great sign. It's when you don't have to fit any shims that you start getting worried, because that's a sign that the bearing could be worn, very worn, to the point where shims are there to take up, to add in free play basically. So all the free play's gone out, the bearing is worn. Nothing else you can do but replace the wheel bearing. Yeah. It's going to start a little bit crooked, so let's try and keep it straight. It's probably just because the brake drum's just sitting a little bit. What we might do is put in the one that's been a little bit contrary first, loosen him off. That'll probably help it a little bit. Ah, yeah. Some people tighten these way too tight, to the point where you actually have to start drilling them out, using punches, all of that kind of crack. There is no need. You don't really even need them at all, to be honest with you. As I said, the wheel will have how many? 8 studs pulling the wheel up against it. So it's important that if you do fit them snug. You want it to be, I don't really like seeing them a little bit proud. That is a little bit proud. That's only one thing I will say, they are a little bit proud. Yeah, that's going to cause problems. So this isn't countersunk enough. And what happens is you get a wobbly wheel. So this new part is definitely slightly different. So I'm going to go and look for an older set of these. That might do the trick, because I only said I don't like when people over tighten them, and that seems to be the only way I'm going to be able to get them in, and still they're going to be proud. That's going to cause wheel balancing issues, definitely. So I look for an older set of them. If I can't find anything that suits, I'm going to leave them out, for the simple reason being they're not needed. Unfortunate now, but I thought alright when I looked at them that the countersinking wasn't wide enough. So for the fun of it, what I'll do is I'll go and look at an old one and see is it the same countersink.